What's up, fellow YouTube prospectors? Back out on the Trinity River, the true Northern California. It's been a little while since I've done a video. I've been out to the river quite a bit, but just not filming. A couple of interesting, progress for me, a couple of things. I recently filed a placer claim out here on the river. The reason I did that was because all of the other spots were getting claimed up. So I figured if I want a place to go, I better make a claim. Otherwise, I'll be SOL. I won't have a place to go without claim jumping, which is something none of us should be doing. So I am out on the brown nugget placer claim. I called it that because when I first was exploring this area, I found a bunch of bear tracks, and that boy was leaving some big brown nuggets. So probably the only kind of nuggets I'll find out here on the Trinity River. This place has been picked over pretty hard for the last 150 plus years, but I didn't get the greatest section of river. It's a lot of straight section, and here I'll show you downriver. My claim goes down and around that corner down there, so I do have an inside bend on the opposite side of the river, which actually the two really good inside bends are both on the opposite side of the river for me. But so down around that corner is where my claim starts. All the way as far as you can see up that way, and it does an S-curve up there. But I'm waiting for this summer when the water level drops to get to the other side of the river over there. And there's a lot of good bedrock over there that I'm looking forward to checking out. So just a little update on, things that have been going on for me and getting out here to the river. Work got canceled because of rain, and I don't care if it's raining or not. I'm heading out to the river. I got geared up. Got my waders on. I've got a rain jacket in my backpack in case it does actually start raining, but the forecast looks good for not having rain for the rest of the day. I found a little spot. Well, there's a lot of good spots on this section of river, which actually the inside bends that I had been working on before, decent gold, but they were really wide gravel bars, so the gold was not that great in per pan showing color. If you look behind me, there's all this bedrock back there, and there's little areas that funnel, when the water's really high, it funnels material down into these little draws, and I get pretty good speck count, probably anywhere from 20 to 50 pieces per pan. But all right. I have some new gear here. I have a gimbal that keeps me centered and supposedly keeps things a little more steady. We'll see how that works out, but I'm gonna stop recording for a second, flip the camera around, and show you what I got going to start the day. So I've got these two bedrock channels right there that caught my eye, and they're not perpendicular to the river flow. They're a little bit diagonal, but I was looking at it, and there's a lot of nice material in there. They're pretty deep. I'm liking the look of the material that's coming out of there. I haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet, Yeah, I've got to pry a little bit more out of there. Got a nice pan of material here. I'm gonna see what's in there. And you know, this little channel goes all the way up under those rocks up over there. And then right above it, there's another one that goes all the way up over that way. So, you know, I think I'm gonna be working this spot for a little bit, depending on what this first pan shows up. And I'll go pan it out. You know, the river is a little bit, you know, not the best here, but I've got that little spot right down there. There's a seat. There's a little bench where I can set the pan to do my classifying, and it looks like a safe spot. You know, if I was trying to pan over there, it's slippery and it'll shoot you right into the water and down into the current. And this is a deadly river. You know, this river takes people's lives every year, so you got to be careful if you come up to the Trinity River. You got to respect the river. It'll get you if you don't. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna pan that out right down there, and I'll show you what I get when I'm done. So, not a bad pan for the first one. There's a little bit of lead in there, a chunk of iron, another big piece of lead, but yeah, that spec count, I like that. So, I mean, it's pretty typical for the pans that come out of these little choke points. So I'm gonna keep going on this crevice. I'm gonna clean both of them out, and yeah, we'll see how well we do on this. So this is the third pan. I'm not that great at, you know, doing the show off, gathering all the gold up, but you know, the second pan was like halfway between this and the first pan, but yeah, decent spec count. I got that cleaned out all the way up there, and I am gonna start on that higher crevice, and that one actually might be better because it was higher up and would have caught gold sooner. So we'll see how that goes. So I did clear out that top crevice there, and it ended up being pretty shallow. My pans were definitely a lot less color than in that lower crevice right there. All that material right there sheds down, and I think it was not stopping in that and just continuing in there and getting caught in that lower crevice right there. Kind of what I'm looking at here is that's a bunch of blank bedrock right there, but over here there's a channel that's filled with cobble, but it does start, sorry, my camera is not that great. It does start up there, and there's also a nice little collection point right there. So what I'm looking at is just where the water is going to be channeling the heavy material. And I'm up high on the river right now, but if you look straight across, see that log over there? Yeah, the water gets that high. A couple of times a year they do a super flush out of the Trinity Dam, and this river becomes a raging torrent. So I know the water gets up this high, and when it does that, all of this is underwater, and the river is churning all of this. It's pulling new material down off the bank, washing away the light material and leaving the heavier stuff behind. And you just kind of got to look at where those funnels are. Right there is a funnel. Right there is a funnel. And both of those continue down that way. So yeah, I have a little bit of a decision to make. So I tried one pan from right there and it really didn't show me very much color. So I moved over like 6 feet to this other channel that comes down, and it's just a nice bedrock V, and I'm standing right on top of a lot of material that has accumulated here. And my first pan, you know, respectable. There's a lot of flakes that have kind of spread out, but I didn't even get down to the bottom of the bedrock channel and I'm finding some nice material. So I am going to commit to this spot and I'm going to bang out as many pans as I can over the next 3-4 hours, and we'll catch up to you when I get home and show you what I found. So I still haven't gotten to the bottom of the little bedrock channel, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a look at the type of material that I'm working with, which I really like the look of it. I mean, you know, around here the black sands are magnetic and that's always what you look for, but you know, I'm not just finding sand, I'm finding all different sizes of that magnetite, and it's just, I mean, look at that. It's super concentrated here. So my last couple of pans have been looking really good. You know, there's a nice big chunk of it. Yeah, this spot's looking really good. I'm gonna keep going. All right, so I am back home. I got all my gold cleaned up and I'm actually a little bit surprised. It looks pretty nice. Let's see what the reveal is. I'm thinking 3/4 gram. Scale turned off. So there we go. Back on. Let's see what she says. Whoa. So yeah, there's still a little bit of black sand in there. You know, it's hard to get all that stuff out of there, but 1.02 a gram, you know, minus that black sand, a little better than 3/4 gram. So I'm happy with that. Productive day on the river. I will see you guys next time I make it out there.